60 Minutes Overtime.
Is this safe? Whew. Ish.
This week we have a story about the fires that have devastated Australia over the last few months, and we visited Australia, our home country, just last week. I'm Holly Williams. I'm a correspondent for CBS News and a contributor for 60 Minutes.
And I'm Jacqueline Williams, and I'm an associate producer here at 60 Minutes.
And we're both Williamses, but we're not related as far as we know.
As far as we know.
Bushfires are they're just part of life in Australia. You know, you grow up with them. You're taught about them as a child. You're taught what to do if there's a bushfire. They're going to happen pretty much every summer. But I remember thinking, it was very clear in December that this was not an ordinary year.
Never had we ever seen people retreating to the beaches for safety. That's something I've never seen in my lifetime. This is usually summer on the beach in Australia. Everybody's having a great time and very happy, and it's just...
And that's not what it is this year. And I was in Sydney just before Christmas, and it was smoky. I took my kids out for a walk in the middle of the city, and we went home almost immediately because our eyes were stinging and we were worried what it was going to do to them. That's not normal.
My father calls and he said, look, they're warning us that fires might be coming, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to stay here and defend the house if need be. Later, I'm seeing these images on social media of people on beaches and coastlines up in flames. And I actually see an image of the beach that my dad lives at. And people are on the beach and the coast is just up in flames, and they pan across, and I can see them almost getting to the point where my dad lives, and they stopped right before the point. Oh my gosh, is my dad there? Is he okay? And what has happened to Dad's house? And I later found that my dad was safe, and somehow it was a complete miracle that my dad's house it was still standing, but homes around it had disappeared, and about 80 homes in the town were lost. And so it was devastating for people who live there, and obviously very hard to see from the other side of the world. And that's when I realised this is something that I think we need to cover.
Because the death toll has been higher in other years. Much higher in some years, but it's just the scale of the devastation, the area that it's hit.
And I think that was the thing that really struck me when we went back there, was driving through these empty forests.
And also Australian forest, it's nearly all eucalyptus, so it's evergreen. So all year round, it's lush. It's filled with kind of gorgeous Australian birds. And that was all gone. I think as a reporter, you often have an emotional response to something, whether it's your country or someone else's country, but it certainly was a pretty powerful experience, I think, seeing what had happened in Australia.